This piece is called, well, get straight into it, something totally different. To the men who say boys don't cry. 1. Are you fucking kidding me? Real men, they cry. 2. Funny how your masculinity is as fragile as cotton candy in the rain. It only takes a few tears running down your face for it to instantly disappear. 3. You think that a man crying is the least sexy a man can be. Well, let me tell you what isn't sexy. What isn't sexy is grown-ass men not dealing with their own traumas, projecting it onto their relationships and taking it out on their partners. What isn't sexy is 35% of women globally having experienced physical or sexual violence at the hands of men. What isn't sexy is men who are so afraid of showing any emotions they'd rather suffer in silence and go at it alone when dealing with mental depression and other mental health problems. What isn't sexy is the global male to female suicide ratio being 3:1:4. I have never met a man who didn't feel better after a good sobbing. But I do know many men who would rather be robbing themselves from emotional well-being by bottling up their emotions and drowning in their own sorrows. So I'd rather borrow a shoulder to cry on than let the water take another victim. I'd rather see tears streaming down boys' faces than face another broken dream of a boy who didn't know where to go with his own feelings other than knife, a fight, a bridge, a noose, crime, an overdose, an addiction, a casket. 5. Did you know that the average female body contains 55% water, but the average male body contains 60% water? And I know why male bodies contain more water. It's the uncried tears of all the years we have not swallowed our pride and pretended to be alright instead. Silence is a violence no amount of muscle, hustle, athleticism, or stoicism can defend itself against. So let's not man up any longer. Instead, let us satisfy our hunger for connection. Let's find shelter and protection in meaningful conversation where emotions overflow, intensity strikes, and feelings explode. 6. Real sexy is men who measure strength by their vulnerability. Real sexy is men who aren't afraid of a little water and learn how to swim in the ocean of emotions. Real sexy is men who are so strong they can carry their heart on their sleeves. Real sexy is guns that aren't made for fighting. Guns that are writing poetry instead of a history of violence. Guns that are disarming. Real sexy is men who are emotionally literate. 7. Your fists may be more powerful than your words, but they're as fragile as your masculinity, which is to say your fists have never put a dent into anything other than your own ego. 8. Fuck you. 9. During a workshop for school kids aged 12 to 15, I asked them, have you ever been told that you can't do something because of your gender? Almost all the girls and one boy stepped forward, broke my heart. When I asked them, have you ever been told that you should not show your emotions? All the boys stepped forward. And in that moment, I died a little, thinking about the men they'll grow up to be and the sons they might raise. Because let's face it, we all would have benefited in so many different ways from seeing our fathers cry more often. 10. Here is a tissue. Okay, so next